shout out to everybody who participate in this lovely sport. We here now.
If you on that hit squad, then hit hard. Bogart and take charge. If you got accuracy to be the QB, then let me see you throw it deep.
Gather around, school brothers and sisters. This is Under the Lights, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk and Purple and Gold for Days. And we brought the man of the hour, that guy that's flying to Minneapolis to see his first game on September 9th, JJ Vikings. Give him a hand, everybody. Yay! I don't have a sound thing for that. But hey,
what's going on?
Introduce yourself, JJ.
It's me, JJ Vikings, and as you all know, I have a YouTube channel. I know everyone is so hyped to see me, and I honestly, I've never gotten this much hype before, and it's amazing. That's all I can say right now. I don't know how to describe how I'm feeling with words, but I feel on top of the world.
Well, we are glad to
you're
have
looking
you
good.
Man. Yeah,
you're looking good at it too.
You got these guys just sitting here with these T-shirts on. He's got the bow tie. He's got the suit. He's got everything, man. It's unbelievable, man.
I don't know. I'm going to rethink my look, man.
I know, right?
Hey, let's get some shout-outs here. We got a lot of people joining. McAndrews, what's up?
Yo.
What's up, guys? Gary in the house. My Worthless Opinion, who is my spell checker on my channel. He's my official spell checker, but also the best name in YouTube. Here we go. We got Dr. Proto. Who else we got here? Norspius. We got Skull for Life. What's going on? Mary Fisk, how you doing?
Hey,
Chicken Soup for the Soul. Sodak Kid in the house. I guess he's coming. I think he's coming to Skull Fest.
Yes.
Glad to hear it, man. I need another South Dakota boy in that establishment. What? Who else we got here? Overlord Rex in the house. What's up? Eli Prod.
Eli, ain't seen Eli in a minute. What's going on, Eli? Good to see you.
We got Uncle Rap.
There's Rap. What's up, Rap?
We got Uncle Rap in there. Oh, geez. All Mercy Psychiatry and Integrative Care LLC.
Crew, JJ. That must be yours.
Yeah.
Appreciate you joining us.
That's a big name. Raymond Hoagland, what's up? Man, everybody wanted to see you today.
Go back to All Mercy for a second. Moving forward, you're just going to be Mercy, okay? Because we're just going to say Mercy. But thanks for
All Mercy. I can't. Psychiatry. There we go. That was the word I was trying to say. Oh, my gosh. JV Just Vibes. What's going on?
Vibes is in the building. What's up?
Oh, my God. What do we got? School for Life. We're good there. Oh, Yogi in the house. Uncle Yogi in the house. What's going on? Oh, my goodness. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Oh, In the Zone. What's going on? Have you met In the Zone, JJ?
I've seen him. Yeah. I'm subscribed to his channel. Everyone in the Purple Gang. Yeah.
There you go.
That's good. What do we got here? Oh, Viking Gaming. What's up, man? I haven't seen you for a while, I don't think.
What's up, Gaming? How you doing?
I think I'm subbed to him. Believe so.
Well, that's the fun part of it. When the show's over, you can go back to the chat and be like, okay, who do I got to – oh, got to get that one. Got to get that one.
Eric LaPointe. What's
going on? Eric?
And
how's Miranda doing? How's Miranda, Eric? Good to see you.
And some guy named Joe.
Yeah, some guy. What's up, Pops? How you doing? Good to see you.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Day. This is Grandpa Day.
Yeah, that's my dad. I told him you was going to be on and that I told him about you. What's up, Chi-Town? Good to see you as well. But yeah, the last time I spoke to him, I spent about 10 minutes saying, I can't believe how ridiculous you have been, JJ. So let's, I guess, first one out the gates. You got your own channel. We all know that. And everybody go subscribe to JJ Vikes. And if anybody on the JJ Vikes crew that is into Under the Lights for the first time, Dave has his tag as Florida Man, but his channel is Minnesota Sports Talk.
Let me change that.
And mine is Purple and Gold for Days. We both do Vikings content up the wazoo. But JJ, tell us about yourself. Since this is the first time you've gone under the lights, tell us about yourself, your family, how you became a Vikings fan. Give us the 411 on JJ Vikings.
It all started when I was about 5, 6 years old. I was watching Vikings versus Cardinals. It was a game in the 2015-2016 season. Watching lots of football. That's when I finally saw guys like Eric Hendricks, saw Cordero Patterson, Adam Thielen back when he was deadly fast and played special teams. I miss those days. And back when I was living in Minnesota too, I lived there for 7 years. I'm currently in Massachusetts now, for those of you who didn't know that. And I just kind of felt drawn to football. I got introduced there. I got introduced to it by parents. I remember I remember my mom and dad watching it, and 2017 into 2020 were probably the best football years of my life, despite how crappy 2020 was. But there's also 2022, obviously. I can't forget that. Definitely can't forget that. That wild card game, we don't really talk about that. That's not on my list as one of the best. So
let's start off by talking about the wild card game. I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. But hey, and you're 12, is that right?
I turned 13 on August 20th.
Okay, so your birthday right around the corner. All right.
Oh, wow. 13. All uphill from here, man.
So that is almost to the day that Brett Favre came back for his second season. The one that didn't go as well as the first. We'll just leave it about that. But that is almost to the day that Brett came back.
So, what has everybody got planned for you so far that you know of for this trip to Minneapolis?
There's Skull Fest. The Minnesota.
Of course.
Yeah. There's the game.
Gotta do that.
I was pretty bummed when I found out that Uncle Day isn't going.
Yeah.
Many people call him Justin, but I actually call him Uncle Day because there's Justin Jefferson, and I feel like saying Uncle Justin and then there's Justin Jefferson will be kind of weird. So I like saying Uncle Day as long as he's fine with that, which I'm pretty sure he is.
No, we fine with that, and it shows a lot of character that you always refer to me as Uncle Day and SK and Rap and Yogi as uncles. So like I said, you call me Uncle Day, Uncle Justin, whichever one you want to do. But by the way, what is your name JJ or what is JJ? I mean, what's your actual name, young man?
My actual name is actually Cameronian.
Okay.
I would go with JJ. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. That's a cool name, man. That's a cool name.
It's actually
is there some history there?
I know that my real name means leader, but it's actually really hard to pronounce for like the average person trying to figure out my name it'd be pretty hard to pronounce. But I can definitely type it out if you guys want to.
The real question on the table is, what does your mom call you? That's where you end all debates as to what is it, and what you mean. What's your mama call you? That's what you got. But in all seriousness, that's cool. I mean, like I said, we go by JJ. That's fine. And like I said, you call me Uncle anything.
I told my mom about you, JJ, and she just showed up. I don't remember.
There you go.
It's been like a year since she came on the show. So yeah, hey mom.
Everybody, see, this is how you got it, JJ. Is everybody our parents are in the building tonight. Our parents generally don't show up very much. Sometimes our parents will watch back after the fact, but they don't show up for lives very often. But you got what's up, Chi-Town Vike? Good to see you. I don't know if we said you or not, but if we didn't, if we did,
I think you.
I can't.
Yeah, I think it's first time jumping in.
In the chat today. That's how you've arrived. Is I got on this show with these two yahoos, and his mom and his dad showed up. So there you go. But anyway, finish your story. So
we got Too Evil to Hope in the house.
Too Evil, what's up? Side note, real quick. Gary, I didn't see your message last night about Ozark. I did see it after the fact. I'm glad you enjoyed it. But anyway, finish your story about who you are and what you got going on. So you going to the game, you going to Skull Fest. What else was on the list?
Going to Mall of America, Nickelodeon.
Mall of America. I actually did not know about that part. I only knew that I was going to the Vikings Museum. And I'm going Nickelodeon? Nickelodeon?
Well, that's the thing in Mall of America. That's the amusement park inside the mall.
Yeah, that's a huge mall. I know it's.
It used to be called Camp Snoopy.
Yeah. The Mall of America, just to give you the history, and you'll discover some of this when you see the museum, but that is where the original Viking Stadium, Met Stadium, was. That plot of land had Met Stadium and the ice arena where the old North Stars used to play before they moved all the teams to the Metrodome. And then obviously once the Stars left, they took all of that land and made it into the Mall of America. Well, I'm trying to remember if they still have home plate inside of.
I think they do.
Yeah, inside it. If you do get out there, Nickelodeon, it's right in the middle. Okay, so the amusement park is right in the middle. It's center stage. But
I think I still think they have a seat where like Harmon Killebrew hit a home run too, like 500 feet.
Right,
something like
right. So in one of those entrances, if you notice, you're like, why is there a home plate here? Well, it's because again, Met Stadium used to be the home for the Gophers football team, the Vikings, and the Minnesota Twins. But if you have a chance, I know you got a lot going on. And when are you guys coming in? By the way, do you know off the top of your head?
Like where we're coming in? Like where exactly?
What day? When are you coming in?
Like the day, probably Friday or maybe even Thursday.
Okay. Well, if you have some time. Yeah, there's a lot of good places at the Mall of America to eat too. So if you guys have time, I know you guys got a busy schedule and whatnot, but if you do have a chance to check it out, you'll enjoy it.
Is this your mom jumping in?
Yeah, she's using my account for some reason.
Yeah, Jude Jr. She wanted to clarify.
Jude, okay, all right. Well, you're gonna be JJ regardless, but that's all right.
Yeah, JJ's easier for the whole masses to say. So
yes,
it's a good name, man.
And I agree with Mary. You've raised an incredibly bright, and as I said earlier, very well-mannered and respectful young man. But okay.
We all are impressed.
Now that we've thrown all of these flowers at you, you said that you were about 5 years old when you discovered football and discovered the Minnesota Vikings. You mentioned that you moved to Massachusetts. How long ago did you and your family move there?
10 months to a year ago.
Okay, so almost a year ago. Okay. I know it's probably difficult considering, the heart of Massachusetts has, a dynasty with the Patriots, but do you know any other Vikings fans there in Massachusetts at all?
A couple.
Not counting your family, of course, but.
Like one or two.
Okay.
And there's also a Vikings fan club in Boston, surprisingly.
Oh, okay.
Like a Vikings bar or something club.
Yeah, I think I looked for a fan club on Facebook in Boston, but I couldn't.
Yeah, I caught myself. Remember. I almost said, "Do you know if there's any Vikings bars out there?" And then realized, well, that would be a really silly thing to ask a young man like you. So,
did he hang out the bar? No, that's yeah. But hey, make sure you hit like, push this channel. Yes, I think please. I got 9 likes on my side. I don't know what Justin's got on his side. He usually has more. But go hit that, push this out. Let's have the world. Hear JJ's story. Now, we're gonna do a list today of 5 people or 5 players that were, didn't necessarily contribute last year. Were free agents coming into this season. They could be second players, could be like someone that was injured, didn't get to play, and now he's on the team. And I think I already said free agents, but and feel free to change the criteria and defend your answer or throw in some honorable mentions. But we're going to probably just go down the list of each of us having 5. Let's do a countdown 5 to 1. Justin, you want to go first?
So we're taking out rookies. We're not putting rookies in.
No, I got rookies too. That hasn't played last year.
Well, I'm going to go 1 to 5 if you don't mind, because the obvious answer is, well, there's 2 obvious answers. Well, I'll save those for 2 and 1. I'm going to start with the villain, Luigi Villon. I love what I saw. And again, it's a preseason game, so let's not get too over the top one way or the other. But Luigi Villon, he's definitely going to make this roster, in my opinion. He's definitely going to be, and I said this on my show last night, he'll be the Brian Robeson, the 3rd guy after Daniil Hunter and, Davenport, where he's not going to be a starter, but he's going to have a solid role in that rotation. I think Patrick Jones and him are definitely making the team. And right now, DJ Wanham, he's kind of on alert because he's just another guy to me. So I'm going to start off with Luigi Villon.
Quick shout out here. Is JJ happy Kurt he refers to Kirk as Kurt. Hasn't gotten an extension. What's your thoughts on that, man? What's your thoughts on Kirk currently not having a contract for 2024 yet?
We don't want to go too far too quickly because Kirk, obviously this year for Kirk Cousins is a make or break year, so we don't want to go too far too fast. Because assuming that Kirk has a bad year, you give him that contract. Do you really want to rely on him going into 2024 if he has a bad year this year? You know,
Fair enough answer, man. Fair enough answer.
And then I heard a guy, I saw a guy named Davey in the comments saying that I need to try a Juicy Lucy burger when I get to Minnesota.
Yes.
Oh, you saw that? Okay, I'm sorry I didn't put that up. Have you ever heard of that before?
The Juicy Lucy, isn't that where you put like two burgers together, put cheese in between them? Minnesotans love it.
Yes.
I will try that.
Nothing bad about cheese infused beef.
I used to think when I was younger. I used to think it was gross when I was younger because I looked at it. I'm like, why do they do that? Put cheese in between it. But now that I'm a little older as a Minnesotan, like older than a 6-year-old at least, and I can understand like, this might taste pretty good.
Well, we just broke 30 people watching, man. T-Bass 2323 agrees with Justin. So you got one on your side, man, on that. What do we got here? Grandizer, Skull Viking, let's win the game. All right. Do you know that song, JJ? Do you got that memorized yet?
Yeah, of course. Want me to sing it right now?
Sure.
Go for it.
Take it away, man.
Skull Vikings, let's win this game. Skull Vikings, honor your name. Go get that first down. Let's get a touchdown. Rock 'em, sock 'em. Fight, 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 fight. Skull Vikings, run out the score. You'll hear us yell for more. Vikings. Skull Vikings, let's go.
I now have my new intro for one of my other shows.
Yes, there you go. Well done. Well done.
That was awesome. You're definitely the first person to sing it on this show, so we appreciate it, man. I'm not a good singer, so I appreciate you did it.
Yeah, there's a reason you've never seen either of us sing that song on any one of our broadcasts, and we'll just leave it at that. But all righty, you going next, Dave, or are we letting JJ go next?
We'll go. Hey, let's have him go. Well, actually, let him go first. We have a couple of the same ones, so I'll let him go. I'll let him get the thunder.
We're doing me?
Yeah, we're doing
you. Go for it.
All right. Just like Uncle Dave said, Luigi Villain for sure. Luigi Villain looked so hungry last year. Like week 6 against the Miami Dolphins, I saw the way he was playing. And Luigi Villain was just out-racing left tackles, out-racing tackles in general, just getting past offensive linemen and just trying his best to get to the quarterback. Even though he didn't have any QB pressures and didn't record any sacks, that guy still looked hungry. And even the first 2 preseasons before that, against the Raiders, against the Broncos, the last preseason game of 2022, Luigi Villain had an interception, a QB pressure, fumble recovery. I mean, that guy does it all. And I think that if the Vikings are willing enough to start him in this new Brian Flores defense where they like to play fast football, I think that Luigi Villain will have more chances to actually contribute to the team on defense, considering how the new scheme can allow him to do so.
Shout out to Jade in the house. Yeah, we got 3 great Viking minds here. I agree with you.
I appreciate you, Jade.
Oh, we got Mike Sports Vibes in here.
Hey.
We need both of you guys on the show together, man. You guys are both got the spirit.
Yeah, you do. Side note, Jade will be Under the Lights next Tuesday for those wanting to. We finally actually got a week ahead in our schedule for the first time all summer. So, but I digress.
What do you think of the guard situation, JJ?
Oh, I feel incredibly upset that we decided to sign a tackle instead of a guard. I mean, Chim Okafor, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. Like, why a tackle? I mean, why a tackle? We need a guard. I mean, first of all, Vikings fans, don't freak out about our offensive line. It's only preseason. But what about during the season when the same mistake happens? And then we can't use the it's just a preseason game as an excuse, because it won't be during the season. And just like Uncle Rap said in one of his videos, Ed Ingram continuously lets defensive players get right past him. A guy in a wheelchair could have gotten right past him. The way he plays, I mean, yes. And I know Ed Ingram is a pretty good.
No one tag Ed Ingram on this one. Go ahead, man.
He's he's a pretty big guy in size, and I feel like if you're a tackle and you've got good size and strength, you're a little mistaken. I think you should be a guard, so that way you can really use your strength and your just full diesel bull power in the right way. And for Ed Ingram, he hasn't really been doing great, and I think that he still has a chance to improve. But just like Uncle Rap said again, this situation is not going to fix itself. And I know Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, Kevin O'Connell, Wes Phillips, who has experience coaching the offensive linemen, and you also have Chris Cooper, offensive line coach. Just like Andy Carlson from the Purple FTW channel says, "Mama, I can change him." Well, if we can't change Ed Ingram, then we're going to have to move on from him and finally sign Dalton Risner. And it's proven that we're going to get $2 million back from the Dalvin Cook signing with the Jets. So why not take Dalton Risner?
Yeah.
No, I can't disagree with anything you said there. I mean, this preseason game that we saw on Thursday was abject failure, an absolute disaster. And in his press conference, Kevin O'Connell came out and said, hey, there was a missed call. He's working with guys he's not used to working with. And I don't know if there's any truth to that or if that's just O'Connell, throwing himself under the bus to protect one of his guys. All I know is that when you're one of the 5 starters on offensive line and you're the only one who suited up and played, that's telling a varsity player, hey, you're playing with the junior varsity because you need more work today than anybody else on this line does. And I will give Ed Ingram a little bit of a pass from the standpoint of particularly interior offensive linemen are not just draft plug and play guys. Tackles, maybe. But the Vikings put him in before he was ready. You need a year or two oftentimes, even if they are first or second round picks, to develop, to grow and to learn the NFL speed. And because the Vikings have done not a very good job of developing interior or drafting interior players and never having a whole lot of salary cap space to sign Pro Bowl guards that might hit free agency, they forced a guy in there before he was ready. So I agree with every take that you had and what Rap said on his video as well. But at some point, too, we got to remember that this is a culmination of years of neglect on the interior, and you're forcing a young kid in there that frankly isn't ready. I'm not quite ready to give up on him per se, but I agree with you. Dalton Risner should be on this team. He should be on this team now, whether he takes Ezra Cleveland's spot or Ed Ingram's, because frankly, both of them are mediocre pass blockers at best.
Exactly.
I'm with you. I don't know why they haven't signed him. At this point, get him in here if you want to be taken seriously.
Yeah, and then also an even brighter way to look at this is to sign Dalton Risner now so you can have more time to develop with Ed Ingram. And if that doesn't work, then I don't know. It might be time to move on. But here's the thing: there are many situations in this. One, Ed Ingram had a bit of a bad start to 2022 ish, but it was mostly towards the middle of the season, towards the end of the season too, that he struggled the most. And it's like Ed Ingram had a bad performance. I'm starting to feel like he may not be it, but no. It's only preseason. But also, no. We had a chance to get Dalton Risner before this, but Ed Ingram needs more time. So there are many situations in this particular one. So I don't think we should give up on Ed Ingram yet. I think he still needs some more time to process things and just get better. But as of right now, losing hopes for him, but let's not release him now. Definitely not now. Definitely not now.
I think we can get you a new listener, Davey. This kid needs his own podcast. He does have one.
That's
why we have him on. JJ Vikings. Go check it out if you're listening. We just hit 36 people viewing. I think that's our off-season record right now. Go to JJ Vikings. Open up another tab. Make sure you go hit like or hit subscribe. And I'm gonna go over there right now just to see if we can get you a little more subscribers today. Let me pull it up really quick. You're a little hard to find sometimes. They don't want to put you at the top. I mean, I literally put JJ Vikings. There you are. And we got 397 subscribers. Let's get that to 400. I think this morning it was like 371. So you're growing, man. Hey, there was do you know this person? It says my brother JJ.
Oh, Tomioka, he's like a brother to me, and he loves anime, and he has a channel where he does NFL edits. He has his own his own clips of NFL players. He's a great clip finder. I mean, that impresses me. We all have our own talents and skill sets. His is editing. So I hope that he'll one day be like an editor, maybe play like a Vikings soundtrack for a practice, or maybe like do the graphics during a touchdown or something. But that guy also has a future like me. And he's younger than me, by the way. He's only 10 years old, and he's so smart.
Oh, no kidding.
Editing,
Oh, wow.
the editing.
Awesome. Hey, Grandizer got a question for you. He's been a long-time listener. Who's your favorite Vikings player, or maybe give us one? He says maybe give one offense, one defense. Who's your Viking? I already know your favorite player, but feel free to elaborate.
On defense, I really liked Duke Shelley, but I feel like we haven't done enough for me to have a favorite player on defense right now.
But who's your all-time favorite?
All time, like ever.
Justin Jefferson.
So AJ Hollinsdorf, Blake Brandel, I liked him. I did a video after this. Go check it out. Blake Brandel, I thought played great in this last game. He's got a lot of awareness. He's picked up stunts, something that Ed Ingram is having trouble with. And even though he played left guard in the preseason, he is listed as our number 2 right guard on the depth chart. So, and he was interviewed, and he says he says he plays better right now in his career on the right side. So, hey, he was playing left guard I think probably for depth to try him out at both positions. Probably because we got an injury to, was it Chris Wright?
Right.
Is that his name?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I really like Brandel. Go check out that video. I think you brought that up, JJ, that they signed this tackle. I think that was more for Jalen Hall's health than it was to have him compete for an offensive line position, because that third string offensive line was terrible. They released Chen and they just replaced him with another guy. I think it was to get just a better player in there to help out the team to get us through these next 2 preseasons. But hey, if the guy works out, he works out. I don't know. But we're still on the first go here. I'm going with Mekhi Blackman. I think he's on track to be our nickel, and he looked pretty good in the preseason game. I think he's obviously a rookie, didn't play last year, so he fits the category. He's past Andrew Booth Jr. on the depth chart. I think he makes a big contribution this year. So, who's your second guy, Justin?
Mekhi Blackman was number 4 on my list. So to your point, he's slated to at this point be the 3rd cornerback. Hopefully going mano a mano for as long as he has with Jordan Addison will bring him up to NFL level speed. And to your point that we've made a few times on our shows this summer is you have a whole lot of question marks in that defensive backfield, particularly the corners. I know we got Byron Murphy Jr. in the house. And he's definitely going to be a starter and possibly move into the nickel on those types of situations. But what I like about Mekhi Blackman is his versatility. And he looked halfway. I mean, again, it's preseason, but no, I'm with you on that. We won't go too much further. We'll let JJ get back on the mic here. But yeah, I got Mekhi Blackman at number 4.
Number 4, what do you got, man?
For me, I'd say Kyrus Tonga. Tonga. Yeah, I think he's shown flashes, like in Week 10 against the Bills. I mean, he started a little bit, caused a little bit of pressure, did a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And then we also, Kyrus Tonga, I also noticed that he had a QB pressure on Drew Lock in the preseason game against the Seahawks, so I always love to see that. And just Kyrus Tonga is going to be a bit of a problem. I think he's our own cheap version of Vita Vea, but he can still be pretty good like that. But Vita Vea is just an absolute beast. But Kyrus Tonga can be too.
Yeah, he's getting every opportunity this year, I think. Jade wants to know what you think of Dalvin going to the Jets.
I'd rather have him go to the Dolphins, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
why is that?
That was a missed opportunity there, I think.
Why? That's because, first of all, I don't really know much about the AFC East other than they're a stacked team right now, or a stacked division.
And we swept them last year.
Oh, yeah, we did. We definitely did. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Bills game, we played the Bills and we beat them. We proved that we weren't fraudulent, because when we played the Dolphins, we weren't playing against Tua. We were playing against Skylar Thompson, who is a solid backup. But then the AFC East, I'm not sure who the Dolphins' biggest rivalry is, but if it were the Bills, I think the rivalry between Dalvin Cook and James Cook, now that it's a real rivalry, it's really exciting. But there's also like I mean, come on, like if I were Dalvin, I see Miami as an opportunity to go back home to my hometown. And I get to play with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Braxton Berrios, Robbie Anderson, who changed his name to Chosen Anderson. And then you also have Freddie Swain, formerly the Seahawks. Cedric Wilson, he's got great speed. He can play quarterback, and we learned that the hard way as Vikings fans after he threw that pass to CeeDee Lamb and burnt us for a huge gain back in 2021. And I think that the Dolphins are just a great team. And even though the Jets beat them and Sauce Gardner locked down Tyreek Hill, I still think that Dalvin Cook and Tyreek Hill would have been one of the best running back receiver duos.
Well, maybe he thinks the prospect of Aaron Rodgers being on, his last couple of legs, so to speak, and knowing that Rodgers is chasing rings at this point. And, let's also not forget the Jets defense is not too shabby, to say the least. But it's a good point. I mean, I what I heard anyway, and again, take this for what it's worth, is that Miami was only offering about half of the. He got what, $7 million guaranteed and another 1.6 for a total 8.6 possible incentives, and that Miami already offered him like 3.5. So maybe he felt ring chasing. He had a better opportunity in New York than he did Miami. But I know we all had said on our channels this summer that the odds-on favorite was certainly the Miami Dolphins because, well, like you said, it's his hometown and that sort of thing. But it's going to be an interesting division. I agree. That's probably the most stacked division where you got Buffalo. We talked about them. Now, last year we did beat the Jets, but they didn't have Cook or Rodgers. I mean, we're talking about Mike White here, although we made Mike White look pretty close to Aaron Rodgers in his prime.
Exactly. Our defense manages to make everyone look good.
Yes, you've already picked up on that. You're only 12 years old, and our defense always makes backup or lesser quarterbacks look good. But we'll see. I think that's going to be a very fun division. I think it's going to be really, really tight.
Here's a quick one. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Zeke. Would we have wanted Zeke on our team? All right, that answers that. To hope. All right. And Skull Nation, thanks for joining.
What's up, Joker?
I haven't talked to Nick Howard. What's up, man?
Hey, Nick.
Geez. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. Ed Ingram was part of a really good LSU line. Maybe so for me with Ed Ingram, I just think he's got plenty of the physical ability. I don't think the cognitive ability is caught up to his physical ability yet, because he does. That's his problem, is picking up stunts. And yeah, Kevin O'Connell can say, hey, that there was a mistake on that one play, but he literally let that guy cross his face, go unabated to the quarterback, and Mullins took a big hit. So, I mean, and blocked nobody. So you got to, if there's nobody there, block a guy. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I was out on him. And I've been a defender of him. But I just think Brandel is better than him right now, at least in that preseason game. But hey, let's give him another game. You went, who'd you go with the second guy? Have you given your second guy yet, JJ?
Jalen Naylor.
Go ahead, man.
Jalen Naylor is a guy who you can really rely on third down, just like KJ Osborne. And I think that Jalen Naylor is one of those really great guys that you can use in a preseason game or in the last two games before you make the playoffs if you're really trying to keep starters out of the game, trying to keep them healthy for the playoffs. Because Jalen Naylor had two great catches against the Bears in Week 18 before the Vikings made the playoffs, and then he had a touchdown, a nice long touchdown in Week 17 against the Packers. Another about 2 games before the Vikings made the playoffs. So you can see where I'm headed with Jalen Naylor, how he can be a great player, just for when you need him and we don't need starters. But I think Jalen Naylor can be just a tiny squidge more than that.
I'm putting in JJ's link for those of you guys. He was at $3.99 and about to break 400. So make sure you guys click on this link and open up in another tab and join us. Get him over 400. Let's do a quick update and see if he's passed it yet. Are we still at $3.99? Let's get him to 400. All right, my second guy. You know, obviously I'm a big Jalen Naylor fan. The only reason I haven't put him on this list is because right now he hasn't practiced. He practiced the first game, and when you see a guy like Rager play as well as he did in the preseason game, but then you got him behind three other guys, and he was going to be the number 4 receiver. I just didn't know how much he was going to be able to participate, but he has got all the talent in the world to be a third or fourth receiver on this team, wide receiver 2 in the future type of player. I really like him. My number 2 guy, I'm going with Ivan Pace Jr. I was so impressed with his having the green dot, adjusting the defense, making all the adjustments. It looked like nobody was out of position, and then he went and played, and he had leverage. He attacked the right shoulder, the correct shoulder of the guard, to keep the play from getting outside, to be able to hit that guard who's bigger than him and on his way down to grab somebody's ankles. And the way he covered ground, and honestly, when he was dropping back in the pass defense, he looked smooth doing it. And that's why I got Ivan Pace Jr. on this. Justin, who's your number 3 guy?
Yeah, well, I'm all out of order here at this point. I thought we're up to seconds, but okay. I won't go too much further into this because JJ kind of
who was your number 2?
So far, I have given Mekhi first. Mekhi Blackman was the second one I gave.
Yeah, this will be your number 3 then.
Okay, number 3. Again, we won't go too much into this because JJ already hit it, but Tyrus Tonga. I like what I'm seeing from this guy. He did collapse the pocket a couple times, and he is eating up blockers and allowing the linebackers to be able to do what they do. Again, it is only preseason game number 1, but no, I agree with a lot with what JJ. We might have wanted to go over this ahead of time so that we weren't tripping and butting heads, but that's all right. I like this fine, and you know what? Quasi
Me and JJ did.
Yeah, well.
Go ahead, man.
Could have said something, but I digress. Tyrus Tonga, Quasi needs a win right now because there's a lot of questions about, the draft picks of Lewis Cine and Andrew Booth Jr., those sorts of things. But yeah, I'm going to go with Tyrus Tonga as my 3rd guy on this list to break out this year.
Yep. Yeah. Let's go ahead. What's your 3rd guy there, JJ? Oh, hey, before we do, some of you guys asked in the chat, JJ Vikings again. JJ Vikings, just go over there. You might have to scroll down to find him, but his beautiful mug is recognizable. You can't miss it. You just have to scroll down a bit if you're doing a search. But JJ Vikings, and I'll post the link again.
Oh, I hit 400. I hit 400. Thank you guys so much.
Ding, 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 ding. 400. Ding, ding. Let's go.
Wow. Thank you guys
so much. You were here. And 402, man. 402. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Let's go.
And then
I lost 2 subscribers today. Good job, man.
I was about to say, Dave and I are down a total of 3, but you're up a total of 6. So it's a win for the show one way or the other. But that's all right. Anyway, who was your next one there?
My 3rd guy is Ty Chandler. Ty Chandler's been showing some flashes in these past couple preseasons. Including against the Raiders last preseason, like preseason of last year, the first preseason of 2022, where he averaged 10 yards rushing for 5 carries, having exactly 50 yards rushing. But still, he did it a great way. Like, he looked incredibly, he looked like Tyreek Hill out there at running back. He looked like Isaiah Pacheco, who has an incredible, who's got incredible acceleration skills, and so does Ty Chandler. But with a good offensive line, like let's say we had the Eagles' offensive line for Ty Chandler, or even Dalvin Cook, who struggled a little bit with the offensive line, then they would have gotten some great yards, But still, great running backs. The Vikings have been known to have great running backs.
Yeah, he looked good in that preseason. I listed him as when we did the draft, our best value in the draft. I went Jalen Naylor, and the second guy I went Ty Chandler. He looks like a complete back, and he's actually impressive me with his shiftiness now that I didn't know if he had or not. And I think a lot of people are saying that he's got that in his tool belt now, so that's great. But we got a question for you. this next season, should we focus on O-line or quarterback for the next? I know this kind of, I guess, feeds off of what you said earlier about Kirk Cousins, but what do you think? Where are you at right now?
Well, Kirk Cousins on any given good day can be like a top 8 quarterback in the league, and I mean, don't forget he led the biggest comeback in NFL history, which is a bigger comeback than Tom Brady himself against the Falcons in Super Bowl 51, I think it was, in 2016. But there's also Kirk Cousins that can struggle with a bad offensive line. Okay, and then there's Kirk Cousins who threw for 460 yards and 4 touchdowns, and people are saying, "Oh, Justin Jefferson carries Kirk Cousins. He carries Kirk Cousins every single game." Well, it's not like you guys want Kirk Cousins to have bad receivers, right? I mean, he helped Justin Jefferson get the stats that he gets now, and this was all in a run first offense too, where Justin Jefferson had 10 touchdowns, 116 yards. No, sorry, 1,116 yards in 2021 back in a run first offense, and it was shown that Kirk Cousins can clearly throw incredible passes, and this is going to be the first year where Kirk Cousins doesn't have to switch an offensive scheme. You know, because he had to go through Gary Kubiak and then Clint Kubiak. So it's going to be the first time he's going to stick with Kevin O'Connell, who actually seems happy to work with Kirk. And I feel like the Vikings during practices don't have to fake happy. I think that they're actually feeling good and having lots of fun out there, and including Kirk.
You got this broadcast thing down because you gave an incredible answer, except you didn't answer the question. Quarterback or O-line?
Okay. Let's get down to business.
All right. So with all that said, yes.
With all that said,
you're crazy. What do you do?
We signed Dalton Risner. We if we have to, we can go into rebuild mode in the guard position of our offensive line. So O-line over quarterback.
Hey, Grandizer wants to know what your pregame ritual is before you go watch a Vikings game.
Good question, Grandizer.
Well, back in 2020, it was in the morning before games. I'd just have a quick slice of apple pie, turn on the game, and then in the afternoon I'd have some Chex Mix snacks, and then for Sunday night games I'd have pizza. So I know it's not exactly like a pregame ritual, but let's do it. It's cool.
I had this superstition where I watch sports religiously throughout the week, and ESPN, Sports Center, NFL, the day of the game, I'm switching channels and I'm counting how many purple ties there were. And I thought if we reached a certain amount, we were going to win that day. I don't know how accurate it was, but I was shocked at how many commentators wore purple ties.
They do actually?
Yeah, and we got one right on here with the purple bow tie. So
there you go.
We already got one. I'm already counting one for this next game.
And then my last guy is N'Keal Harry. N'Keal Harry of the Minnesota Vikings. He's got the size. And Uncle Rap, I know you're going to be mad at me for saying N'Keal Harry. I know how you're against him, but I got my own opinion, and I think that N'Keal Harry is going to actually do great for our team.
You're not allowed to have your own opinion if you're in Rap Show. No, I'm kidding,
exactly. No, I've been on the show. He lets me have my own opinion.
I know.
I mean, sure he cringes a little bit when I go, N'Keal Harry is like, But, N'Keal Harry, he's got the size, he's got the leverage, he's got the incredible jump balls, 50-50 balls. We need another guy like that. And he's our first big receiver that we have on our team. So I'm really, really glad that we finally have that on our team. And he's also got that incredible speed. So that's what amazes me.
One of the things that I saw in his college is that he's able to play like a rebounder. He can high point the ball. He's got good hands. He doesn't get a whole lot of separation. That's his issue. But combine that with Jaron Hall, who on his college tape had a superpower of throwing back shoulder fades. So it's like those two worlds combined, and we're able to see what that could look like on the field. So, hey, maybe he's got a shot. And with Naylor's, who knows? Maybe Naylor goes on the PUP list. We'll have a spot open. Maybe we just keep Rager and not the other receiver. Who's the other What's the other receiver that we got?
N'Keal Harry.
Yeah.
No, the other guy, the punt. He's also a punt returner.
Oh,
Anyways.
the guy from the Rams. I forget what his name is.
Yeah,
Brandon
that guy.
Powell. Brandon Powell.
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 Yes.
So maybe we only keep one of those two guys, and he sneaks onto the team as the fifth receiver. There's a chance of that if one guy goes on the pup list and they don't keep Rager or they don't keep the other guy, and maybe he's got a shot. It would be nice to have a freaking big receiver, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I wanted.
For our team, yeah. And then he switched around, and obviously, like Uncle Rap said this too. N'Keal Harry was drafted to the Patriots to be that wide receiver 1 for the Patriots, and he couldn't get that done there, so the Patriots cut him. He goes to the Bears. He makes an incredible catch, but he's not the wide receiver 1 because look at the talent the Bears already had when N'Keal Harry arrived there. So they already had Chase Claypool, Darnell Mooney, Velus Jones, who's also good as a running back too. He kind of looks.
He got hurt in preseason too. He got a high ankle sprain, a pretty bad one in preseason, so he was off to a slow start for the year.
Yeah, and then there's also lots of talent on the Bears, but then he gets cut by them too, and then he comes to us, and then I think that things can actually really go well. Maybe we have a better coaching scheme, but you can't coach speed, obviously. I think N'Keal Harry. I think that N'Keal Harry is one of those guys who, in terms of route running, he's only got like blazing fast speed for run after catch and not really for creating separation on his routes, which I didn't think was possible.
I did notice on like that, even that catch, he had kind of a false step, and that might not, that might be slowing him down. But I think we got a wide receiver coach that has a history of getting the best out of our receivers. So we'll see on that. Yeah, and I think did you skip to your last one before I got? Did you say all 5?
Yeah, I said all 5.
Okay, so let me give you my two then, and then Justin can give his last one. Geez, I'm only on 3. Josh Oliver. I'll be quick about it. So Josh Oliver, even though he started the game off with a holding penalty, there's another play in there where he just leveled somebody, and his whole highlight reel, he really is a college highlight reel, is him devastating people, and actually his Baltimore tape is him devastating people blocking, and he's a pretty decent receiver. I was kind of disappointed that we didn't see him catching passes, and then we were targeting Nick Muse the whole game. He got that nice touchdown, but Josh Oliver, Byron Murphy, I think we need a guy to step up as our number 1 cornerback. He wasn't on the team last year, so I think he's going to be a big-time contributor. And then my last guy, Jordan Addison, I think he'll be our number 2 receiver before the year is even, even before the first snowfall. So I think he's gonna have the number 1 year. And go ahead, Justin. Who's the ones that you haven't said so far?
Well, real quick, shout out to Six Shooter Gaming. Good to see you. Chad Shaw, I know it's been 5 minutes, so sorry we haven't got back to you there yet as well. Micah Patriot, Mike Castellino, he says, your suit is elite, JJ. So thanks, everybody, again, for joining us who we haven't shouted out there yet. I think we got all caught up here now. Well, my number 2 is Ivan Pace. This kid is a heat-seeking missile. I was shocked when he wasn't drafted. I was very, very happy when we picked him up. I wasn't quite as hyped on him as Rap was. I was like about a notch below that. But needless to say, I am pleasantly surprised and happy that this kid has picked up. I mean, he was given the green dot in the first preseason game. That is a tremendous amount of responsibility where you are the quarterback of the defense. You are the player that the coach, the defensive coordinator, calls the plays into. For an undrafted rookie free agent who was passed up probably because, he's a little diminutive in size. And yes, his pass coverage needs a little work. But having said that, he just absolutely blows up plays. And there's going to be times where he just blows up, for tackles for loss or sacks or pressures. And there's going to be times where he picks the wrong gap and it's going to cost us big plays. But at the end of it, for me, I'm okay with that defensively this year compared to what we saw last year. Number 1 is the obvious. Number 1 draft pick, Jordan Addison. I don't know that I'm willing to put him past KJ as of yet, but I get your point, Dave. But having said all that, again, put him on ice. I don't want to see him in any more of the preseason games. You rest him just like you do Justin Jefferson. He's shown enough. He'll get enough work. with the joint practices with Tennessee and with Arizona next week. Jordan Addison was my number one breakout, and that is still with saying that he's going to be the third wide receiver for the foreseeable future. Anyway, that's how good that kid is.
And then I think Uncle Rap, I think he's acting up a little bit in this chat because he's saying that N'Keal Harry might get more catches than Justin Jefferson, which is not going to happen. I get it, Uncle Rap. You don't really like N'Keal Harry that much, but you can't just resort to saying that N'Keal Harry is going to get more catches than Justin Jefferson and that N'Keal Harry is going to be a bad problem for us. I mean, come on, we got to look at the bright side too, despite not liking certain guys, you know.
Hey, if he contributes, right?
Yeah.
Right.
In the past 2 years, he's had 15 yards per catch, so maybe that's something we didn't have really outside of Justin Jefferson last year. I mean, everybody else was 10 yards or less, and that was unusual for number 19. I already forgot his name.
Really?
But yeah,
you forgot our running back who signed yesterday. You forgot his name too, right?
Yeah.
Well, good to see you, 6 Game. And hey, you know what? Hey,
got
you know
the bow tie tonight. Purple and Gold Media. That must be.
What's up, SK? Good to see you. Yeah, Mike refers to him as the Canadian Ocho Cinco because do you even know the reference is to Ocho Cinco, JJ?
No, I actually don't.
All right, there was a wide receiver who started out in Cincinnati. His name was Chad Johnson, and he wore number 85. And there was the era of when what was the guy's name? The basketball player Ron Artest. He changed his name to Meta World Peace. So Chad Johnson changed his name to Chad Ocho Cinco because, and that's not even how you say 85 in Spanish. That's how you say 8 and then 5. So that's the reference to Canadian Ocho Cinco there. But I digress. But good again. Hey, what's up, GG? Good to see you too as well. So we got pretty much the whole Purple and Skull crew in here. We got Rap, we got Yogi, we got SK, we got Mike. And now we got the GG crew. So there you go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and put up that next one whenever. That's a good one, Chad. The kid didn't know who Chad Johnson is. Man, I feel old. Well, there is that. I just
didn't have him in my memory for a little while. In my memory.
All right. So we're only half old, Chad.
Yeah, he was he's actually kind of done well for himself. He saved up his, he didn't spend his money. He gave a lot to people. He's kind of like Shaq, where he goes into a store and just buys stuff for people. It's actually pretty entertaining guy outside of, after his career. So that's pretty good. Is there any guys that were honorable mention? Like me and JJ were able to coordinate a little bit because he was on a half an hour early. So we got a lot of talking going. But JJ, was there any honorable mentions that you felt like you couldn't squeeze into your top 5?
Ooh, this one used to make me scratch my head. I don't know why, but now it makes lots of sense. Josh Oliver, for sure. I don't know why that made me scratch my head, but it's Josh Oliver.
What do you like best about him?
How he's able to make the highlight reel and make great plays without even recording a single catch.
Yeah, but like his highlight reels, half of it is just devastating blocks.
Exactly.
Like just leveling people, collapsing lines. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he had a pretty nice pancake block on that second drive where we ultimately settled for a field goal. And, a lot of people were questioning Kwesi giving him that much money, but maybe he was onto something. And again, I think he's not going to get that many catches, but I think he's going to get a lot of clutch catches where, again, you are focusing on Jefferson, Addison, Osborne, and Hawkinson to an extent that you've got a nice big red zone target there because he is going to be used primarily as a blocker, and then all of a sudden you forget about him. What's up, VAQ? How you doing? Good to see you as well. But yeah, no, Josh Oliver would definitely also be on my honorable mention as well. And I'm looking forward to seeing, maybe the reason the Vikings haven't done anything significant on their offensive line is they are just banking on using Josh Oliver to be that 6th offensive lineman per se. And again, we've said it ad nauseum that we all want Dalton Reisner, but at the same time, maybe that's what their thought process is. They gave that guy a bucket load of money, and so that's how they're going to use him. But we'll see.
What do you feel about in the preseason, I noticed a lot more pulling guard, like Brandel was pulling. There's a lot. It felt like there was a lot more trap blocking. That maybe they're trying to solve at least the running game with that. Then also throwing in a better blocking tight end. It still doesn't really solve the pass blocking in the interior, though, right? So my thoughts in my last video was like, hey, sign Reisner, have him quick compete for left guard, and if he wins it, he wins it, and put Brandel over and compete for. And I think he's ahead of Ed Ingram right now. But put those two guys, which would be crazy because you'd have what, a 6'7" guard, a 6'7" right tackle, a 6'5" left tackle. We'd have a bunch of huge, and then I think we just have a huge, like we'd have like a basketball team there playing guard, but they're all over 300 pounds. What do you think? What do you think their thought process with this offensive line, man? Go ahead, Justin.
I'm candidly not sure what their thought process is right now, if I'm being honest with you, because it's the one area of weakness that this offense has left. You've got Kirk Cousins, wherever you want to put him, top 6, top 8, top 10, whatever the case may be. You've got the best wide receiver on the planet. You've got a rookie wide receiver who absolutely looks the part. You've got a top 3 to 5 tight end. You've got 2 pretty doggone good tackles. But then you've got the guard center guard combination. And guess what? When we talk about quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts or quarterbacks like Brock Purdy, and the old adage is, well, defensive coordinators are going to have the offseason to study the film and they're going to figure them out. Well, guess what? Everybody knows what Kirk Cousins' biggest weakness is. His kryptonite is pressure up the middle. And I get it. The previous regime wanted to throw the vast majority of their resources into defense, and then the running game. And then, of course, you had the quarterback, and then obviously you had to pay your own players. This interior has been neglected so long that I don't understand why they're not attempting to address it. So to answer your question, I don't know what the heck they're thinking right now, if I'm being honest.
Well, they kind of did address it. I mean, everybody's a first or second round pick on this line. So they've invested in it, but have maybe whiffed on the center and 2 guard positions, because I mean, they moved a tackle to guard. They drafted a center. He's finally had a decent year, and then our right guard still a second year player. So they've invested in it. They just maybe have missed on it. What do you think, JJ?
With the offensive line?
Yeah. Your overall thoughts, man. Where should we go from here? What would you do to fix this team right now? You're on the clock. Go ahead.
2 words. Dalton Risner. Dalton Risner. That's all I can say now. Dalton Risner.
I think just the fact that he's kind of elite pass protector, right? So that would help us like instantly. I mean, we weren't that great of a running team last year. We were bottom 3rd, if not worse. So hell, let's just be better at pass protecting. Why not pick one and let's be elite at it. So that was, for me, Brandel looked like he could do that. He looked really good doing it, and honestly, he run blocked pretty well too in that game. So I think we have an internal option. I like the fact that I feel like we have a guy at depth, and it's crazy. He's 6'7", playing guard. It is really awkward to see, but he gets his pad level down. But yeah, Reisner would definitely help immediately. Even though I like Ezra Cleveland, he is not a guard. He's a tackle, and he's being held back. He should be playing tackle somewhere. But hey, it's the last year of his contract. He's playing for a big paycheck. Maybe he can do it.
Shout out Skull for Life Barber. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. And hit them like buttons. And if you don't already subscribe to JJ Vikings, hit up his channel after the show. We got him up to 408. Let's see if we can get him to 410 by the end of the show. See, when you set your goal and you meet your goal, then you set a higher one. So let's keep it going. If y'all ain't subscribed to our boy JJ Vikings, hit up that sub button. Go ahead. What did Mike have to say here?
I'm convinced the team is afraid to go after an expensive free agent guard after Alex Boone failed so many years ago.
If that's true, that's ridiculous. That's like saying we can never draft a first-round quarterback because Christian Ponder failed. And if we had that logic, we wouldn't have drafted JJ because Laquan Treadwell failed. If that's true, then no, I seriously hope that that's not the case. Side note to Mike's second comment. No, I don't. Again, the $2 million, just for reference here, with Dalvin Cook signing with the New York Jets, because of his offset language, he had a $2 million injury guarantee that the Vikings got charged on their salary cap this year. Because that language was offset, the Vikings will get an additional $2 million in salary cap space, but that is on the 2024 cap. So that has zero to do with any type of free agent moves that they would be making this year. Just to clarify that question there, Mike. But go ahead. What's Grand There's a got here?
He wants JJ to say this.
I have a friend who's a Packers fan, believe it or not.
Uh-oh. You didn't tell us that before we invited you on.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Whenever we get into like a tiny football argument, and I say, just remember, week 1, 23-7.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Is this
right.
a hard? Yes, that is a definite hard as a rock no. Not tonight. Not happening. Sorry, Too Evil, but not tonight.
And tonight over on Purple and Scold Media, it's Skull Live with me and Raps. Make sure you
and Rap
that.
can have that conversation in a half an hour. That's what we'll do.
If you're first-time listeners, Minnesota Sports Talk, Purple and Skull for Days. If you're watching on my channel, go over and subscribe to his channel. If you're on Purple and Gold for Days, come over to mine. And all of you go over to JJ's and make sure you like his. We got them from $397 to $408 just in the short time. So, thank you,
everybody.
It'll be soon and it'll be monetized. Didn't they lower it to 500? I think.
Yeah, but you need watch out. You still need 3,000.
You still need the watch hours. Yeah. That's
so
gonna be a little rough.
You got to pump out some content and get yourself a playlist so people can play that playlist a few times for you, JJ. That's what you got to do. We'll go live one time on your channel exclusively, whether it's me or Rap or whoever else, and we'll get a show for over an hour so that people got stuff that they can watch there for you.
That's a good point. Don't you feel, and it seems like Purple Daily and Judd and all those guys think the same thing, is that we're really kind of trying to extend TJ Hawkinson right now? Don't you feel like that they're keeping him out of competition? That we waited, that we got this extra $2 million now, whatever, that we're in talks with him. It feels like that's the first extension.
I would agree. What do you think, JJ?
Do you guys think that TJ Hawkinson should get his extension immediately though?
Well, if he goes the open market, we might be out of. We honestly, for me, I think we need to take advantage is that his family grew up Viking fans.
Yeah.
That he's in a place that he loves. He's not on the open market right now. That's one of those things. Strike while you can, in my opinion, and take a hopefully potential a little bit of a discount.
He's also doing the social media thing where he's liking a lot of Vikings Reisner tweets too, for whatever that's worth. But apparently that's the new thing. If you want to get on a team,
he's not afraid, is he?
You hit the like button on tweets mentioning you with that team. And if you want to get off a team, you take all references to that team off of your social media. But no, I don't disagree, Dave. Again, regardless, and Worthless brings up a good point. Maybe he does want too much money, too many guarantees. His personality, I don't know.
A multi-year, probably. That's probably the deal breaker.
Get him for 1 year. Sign him for 1 year.
Well, but that's probably the deal breaker. Maybe he wants more than 1 year.
Yeah, that could be it too. And
nice. Yeah, that's maybe.
Back to TJ Hawkinson. He's been dealing with an ear infection, so Vikings are telling him no contract. He may as well be saying, "I can't hear you."
There it is. What a
ear infection.
He set that one up. What? He just knocked that one out of the park. Let's go.
Yeah, and then there's also, I assume that TJ Hawkinson, if he was dealing with an illness, that he was dealing with contract-itis or something.
Yes.
But
he had the contract cough,
or extension-itis or something like that, or
right. I think it's a little bit of both. I think that he probably does have a little something going on, but at the same time, he's in no rush to get back until it's done. Realistically, I made the prediction on my show last night that he'll be signed before week 1. But if he's not, and they do play out his year, remember the Vikings can franchise tag him, and it wouldn't be as big of an insult, being that the franchise tag for tight ends is, I think, 12 or 13 million. So you don't really want to do that. You don't want an alienated guy. You want to just get him signed up for the long term so that the security is done. But I don't know what they're thinking. I said it last night. I'd love to be a fly on the wall or spider under the table, whatever cliche you want to use in those meetings. Be like, okay, what are you guys thinking right now? Because right now it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, but we'll see.
I guess I need to answer this question. JJ asked me too about Purple Hulk. He's still part of my channel. He's still prominent over on Skull World and Skull Live. He will always be an alternate logo. I don't want to get a cease and desist order from Marvel because I have another YouTube channel that is called Star Wars Marvel and More.
Yeah.
So yeah, I that the Purple Hulk's over there, over on one of my shows over there too. So, anyways, that's why. And you know, I got kind of talked out of it, and I figure this is a forever logo now. Yeah, so I think this one's gonna stick forever. So I appreciate you asking.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Northeast's advice is perfect. Do your 3 to 5 minutes. You don't want to go for much more than that unless you have a specific theme that you're doing like a skit or something. You just get a bunch of those out there, get short, sweet, to the point, and get as many of them out there as you can. And that'll help you get subscribers. That'll help you get your watch time in. Shade. Sure can. That's the line of the night so far. There you go. They can't give him
4 or 5 years, 30 million.
5 years, 30. 5 years, 30 million. You could do that's 6 million. He wouldn't take that.
All right, what do we got here, Gary? Looking forward to most coming Minnesota trip. What are you looking forward most to the coming trip? Besides meeting all your uncles.
There's nothing that I like the most because I just like everything about Minnesota, if I'm being honest. I think I've been away from there for way too long, and I'm glad to be able to come back.
Coming home.
There you go.
Coming home, everybody.
Coming back home. It's a home.
Well, you know what's funny about it is that the place we're going to have it at, the Northeast Palace, it did say 21 or over. So you're going to be the only guy or gal in the building that doesn't meet the age code. But, I believe Yogi already told the owner, hey, we got this kid coming in from out of town. I'm pretty sure he said that. But having said that, we're really looking forward to meeting you. We really are. And
we'll just say you're young for your age.
Yes. He just looks young. He just looks young for his age, The 12 and the 1 are backwards. It's no big deal. We're not serving him anything. No.
I mean, he's going to be 13.
Oh, that's a good point. That's right. He just did tell us that it is coming up. And you said what, on the 20th?
Yeah, 20th of August. Oh, yeah, I got one of those lucky birthdays because my birthday is like during the preseason, during when football's coming back, and during training camp. So we've been planning to go to a training camp during a game, but it never really worked out that way. I'm hoping we can do that next year.
Mm-hmm.
No, that'd be sweet.
With your YouTube earnings.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh,
yeah. This guy, put that in the bank. Put that in the bank, man.
Yeah. Take advantage of the tax breaks that you get before you turn 18, but I digress. He's part of the entertainment. He get in. Absolutely. No, absolutely, Gary. And watch out for Gary because he'll give you a really big – Gary has promised that he's going to hug the heck out of each and every one of us there. So you be on the lookout for that guy. But like I said, we all looking forward to everybody who's going to be able – again, if you don't already know, that's Skull Fest. That's September the 9th, starting at 5 p.m. at the Northeast Palace. The technical time of the event is 5 to 9. I think we're going to do our show somewhere around 6:30 or 7. And then there'll be a live DJ starting at 9 o'clock until midnight or 1. I'm not entirely sure. But come on down to the Northeast Palace on September the 9th, the night before the Lid Lifter, week 1 against Tampa Bay. There will be prizes to be given away there. Grand prize, a pair of tickets to the Vikings game against Tampa Bay. If you look on Eventbrite and just type in Skullfest, you'll find it there. There's no cover charge whatsoever. But if you do RSVP to the event, you get 1 automatic entry into the grand prize drawing.
Everybody wants to hug JJ. I think he's going to get plenty of hugs.
I know.
I better get myself a rib protector then.
I was about to say, you need to get one of those Cousins rib protectors or a bubble or something.
There's some other people that you may Shelby Tweeton might be coming. Jade says she's coming, and Sally, Sal Spice said that she's kind of a maybe because she's prepping for a tailgate the next day. So hopefully we can get those three to stop by. Tanishka, unfortunately, is back at college, but we're gonna have a lot of people there. So
there's a couple that a guy that commented on one of my videos, and he's going to be in town starting Thursday night. Now he's going to the Gophers game, but he said he's going to try and swing by after the game. And he and his wife, get this, are coming all the way from Scotland, JJ, for the whole weekend to see the Gophers and the Vikings. So they said they're going to try to get on and up out there. So, well, we've taken up over an hour of your time, and Dave's got to get ready because he's going to need the boxing gloves with Uncle Rap here in about 18 minutes here. So pump your channel out there one more time, and reminder, folks, that JJ will be joining me on Skull for Days. That is 2 weeks from yesterday, so not this coming Monday, but the following Monday, the 28th. We will be putting a bow on the Arizona Cardinals preseason game, the preseason as a whole, and we'll be making our year-long predictions and what we have going forward. But JJ, your final thoughts now that you have this life-changing platform that Dave and I have provided to you. Okay, that's a joke. Life-changing platform you got here. Tell the people where to find you and wrap it on up.
Tell people where to find me. Well,
yeah,
just JJ Vikings, the name of my channel.
Duh.
Yeah, it's written. It's written right
That's where
there.
It's at, man. It's right here below me.
Like it's below me. It's below me. Below me, like right there, below me. Did I point right? Because it's like
yes, you did.
Yes, you got it.
You did.
Yeah,
you did.
Because the screens are sometimes reversed, and then you also have I think the Vikings defense is going to do great. And as long as we have Brian Flores and a little bit more defensive players, but first of all, offensive line matters the most in this situation in terms of getting more guys. Dalton, Risner, we need him. And then on defense, let's get ourselves a few more defensive linemen, maybe one extra linebacker just as a body. And then, just go from there, But we got to save the future for the future. Just focus on the fight today. And the fight today is Dalton Risner right now to win the battle. So we got to have that knockout blow, and we'll need Dalton Risner for that.
Awesome. Yep. Dave, your final thoughts?
Oh, man, it was great having JJ on. I'm sure you'll grace me with your presence as many times as I ask. So I'll try not to use you too much, man, but you got to go to school. So I need you. And I'm sure you're going to get a lot of invitations to join shows and stuff. Just don't wear yourself out, man. Just enjoy yourself. Be happy. I can't wait to see you when we go to Minneapolis. It'll be my son's first Vikings game too, so it's gonna be pretty cool.
That'll be exciting.
JJ, it has been an absolute blast. I just sent you an email, so if you're that other thing that we talked about, feel free to click on that when we're done here. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us one more time. Purple and Gold for Days, Minnesota Sports Talks, JJ Vikings. Hit the like buttons on both pages on your way out. Hit the subscribe button to any of the channels that you're not already subscribed to. And coming up tomorrow, what do you got tomorrow, Dave, on the Skull Experience with Gigi?
You know what? I was trying to ask somebody, but I forgot to do it. But as of right now, it's just us three.
All righty, 7:00 Central tomorrow night on GG Sports as well as Minnesota Sports Talk. I will be back live on Monday, both on Purple and Gold Media at 6:30, as well as Purple and Gold for Days at 8 o'clock.
Who do we got next week?
And next week on Under the Lights, we have the lovely Jade with Sports and Stars with Jade will be on here. I'll just lob up the questions and I'll let Jade argue with you about Kirk Cousins for a while. But in all seriousness, we can't wait to have Jade back on. And we had her on twice last year. It is going to be great to get this season popping here as well. So thank you everybody for joining us. We very much appreciate it. As always, Skull Vikes, and y'all have a great rest of your night. I'm sorry. I lied. Tune in to Purple and Skull Media at 8 o'clock for Skull Live with Rap and Dave. So we'll see you in 15 minutes.
All right. Be there. Skull, Purple and Skull Media. Go over there right now. All right.
Right now I'm there. Bye.